Are we there? Okay, we're good to go. All right, hey, welcome, folks. I am back. Yes, I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. And so glad to be back. Had to overcome some real physical challenges, had to confront those things and deal with them. And I can tell you this much, I don't look like what I've been through. That's the good part. All right, that's the good part. So I'm back. And as it goes in social media, when you've been inconsistent, you have to basically start from the bottom. So we're starting from back, go square one, and we're going to build forward. But for those of you who watch live, I want you to make sure that you subscribe. Number one, click the subscribe button. Number two, click the like button. And number three, click the notification button, because in all three instances, you are going to be in the know. You're going to know things and be available for content and information and insight that others who choose not to subscribe or click the notification button. So you're going to be in the know. All right. You want to be in the know. I'm going to be doing some pretty exciting things, not for me, but for you, because all that I do in these I call them outreach videos, is to help you to establish yourself as a person who's increasing in wealth, income, joy, happiness, peace, all of that sort of thing. And if you're thinking, well, you're on that prosperity gospel stuff, you're absolutely right. I am not taking a vow of poverty, and so shouldn't you. You shouldn't do so either, I should say. But because everything about the kingdom of heaven, everything about God is increased. There's no lack in him. Now, obviously, it doesn't happen by magic. I'm not a magician. I'm a musician, but not a magician. Okay? I don't do magic tricks and I don't teach magic, but I do teach principles that have been proven over the span of time for eons of years. I'm talking about thousands of years that has proven itself to be true, such as do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Now, you can't find anyone that doesn't agree with that. And furthermore, you can't find anyone who have not experienced the thing that they sent out coming back to them in some sort of form. Because what you do to others comes back to you. It's the law of reciprocity, or some call it karma, whatever you want to call it. The truth of the matter is, we all agree that if you want good things to happen to you, you must be willing to do good things to others, because what you make happen for others, God makes happen for you. See how that works? So that's a principle that'll never change. Another principle that will never change is gravity. Now, I'm sure there's a boatload of principles that I'm not even aware of yet, but these are the ones that I am rock solid, 100% sure that if we adhere to them, then we can get blessed by virtue of the principle itself, because the principles work if you work the principles. Okay, so today in this video, I'm going to be dealing with again, how to attract wealth and increase to your life. This is not, once again, magic. So I'm not teaching you magic, but I am going to teach you principles that if you, number one, harness the principle, work the principle, work the principle, work the principle, work the principle, you're going to see that it will manifest in your life things that you've been desiring all your life. And you think that you have to work more hours, more jobs, and do all this hard labor to the point the things that you desire, when you do get it, you're too tired to enjoy it. Or you change your mind because you're just so burned out, you lose your ambition. So I'm talking about how to increase and to gain wealth and increase in every area of your life without having to do over exorbitant amounts of work and labor to get it. Now, there is work that's involved, but the work that I'm talking about is the work of ordering your conversation in the right direction, so that you can yield the sort of increase that you want for your life. Now, some of you are going to chuck it off and say, oh, there you go with that talking stuff or confessions, affirmations. I tried it. It doesn't work for me. You know why it doesn't work? Because you tried it believing that it doesn't work. And as such, it does not work. Even God says, whatsoever things you desire when you pray, believe that you receive them and you shall have them. That's Mark 11, right? And the gospel. So he's saying there's a element of belief that has to go beyond the physical appearance. Got to go beyond what you see with your natural eyes and begin to believe with your spirit. That's really when the game starts. When you start believing in spite of what the situations may look like. My glasses got a little foggy there. So, but when you believe beyond the physical and you can begin to tap into the unseen realm, that's where all the action is. Nothing happens in the physical until it happens in the spiritual first. Nothing happens in the natural material world until it first happens in the spirit realm. So if that's true, and it is, then that's where we need to give the most of our attention. That's where our focus needs to be. And that's not like doing weird things, to try. And again, this is not magic. We're not talking about magic or conjuring and things of that nature. What we're talking about is increasing your ability to believe beyond the physical. Because if you can believe, according to Neville Goddard, he's one of, or Goddard, however you pronounce it, he's one of the renowned speakers when it comes to the power of your imagination. And that's where the game begins. Because if you can begin to imagine, see yourself having, doing, being everything that you desire, more happiness, more joy, more peace, more income, more money. If you can imagine it, see, where they mostly fail is they announce the problem. They rehearse the problem. I'm behind on this. I'm behind on that. I wish God would do this for me. I wish God would do. I can't hardly get ahead. Every time I spend a nickel, I got to spend a dime. And on and on it goes, where we literally dig a hole for ourselves. And then we're amazed at, where did this hole come from? we've been rehearsing and talking and declaring and affirming. I can't get ahead. It's for everybody else. Everybody else seems to be getting ahead except me. It works for everybody else but me. And that's what will happen because you have made the declaration. I did a video some time ago. The video talks about 3 words that impact our lives and create cycles in our lives. Those 3 words are the words that I believe that will radically change your life. Because whatever you perceive, that's what you project. And whatever you project, that's what you receive. Perception, projection. What do you project? Do you project confidence? Do you project fear? Do you project anxiety? Whatever you project, that's what you project. That is what you're going to receive. So it's perception. What you think in your thoughts matters. They say sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never harm me. That may be true in a sense, but what you think will do more damage than any rock or stick or stone. So you have to order the way that you think. Think things that are good, things that are lovely, things that are a good report. Even in the midst of maybe some trying times. You may have suffered a breakup or a loss of job or something like that, and you're emotionally down, but that's when you have to put this into practice the most. This is where the rubber meets the road. If you really want to begin to experience this increase that I'm talking about, this wealth, this increase, this abundance, it doesn't happen by happenstance. Every person that you know that is a millionaire, multimillionaire, multi-billionaire, whatever the case may be, the one thing they all have in common, number one, is a vision. The other thing is their commitment to the vision. So every day of their lives, whatever they do, everything that they do is geared towards achieving that vision. Their goal is to get up every morning and discover new and different and creative ways to achieve what they see in their mind. So that shows you this is not magic that I'm talking about, okay? It's not a magic trick. You got to develop it in your mind. You got to start learning how to think properly because, again, your perception will affect your projection. And then, of course, it affects your reception. And because you perceive and projected such negativity, then you're only going to receive negativity. And then when you receive that negativity, then you begin to declare the negative. You begin to talk about it. You begin to rehearse it because you develop your perception over this negativity, which goes into your projection, which causes you to receive more negativity. You see how it works? So you create cycles in your life. So here's what I want you to do today. I want you to begin to develop an idea or the concept of thinking right thoughts. And because your thoughts affects your feelings. And feelings will override logic in many cases. And what I mean by that is you've heard it said, think before you act. But when you go to the grocery store, you buy whatever it is you're going to buy, and then you proceed to the checkout counter. When you get to the checkout counter, you'll notice they have a plethora of items on the shelf, or gum, chewing gum, magazine, candy, all kinds of stuff right there at the checkout counter. Why do they do that? Because they're expecting you to make an emotional purchase. In other words, you're going to be compulsive. You see it, you want it, that you're emotionally attracted to it. I didn't come to get the Nutty Buddy bar or the chewing gum or the tabloid magazine or whatever else that might be. I didn't come to get those things, but my emotions got stimulated and now I want it and so I buy it. And that's what they're depending on. Why is that? Because your emotion literally is the key to reception. Your emotions is the key to your reception because, again, when you are vibrating at a certain frequency, and then we'll use that terminology, but it's faith, okay? But your faith have to rise to such a degree that you actually feel as though you have the things that you desire, okay? When you rise to that level of feeling, and the way that you do that is to rehearse it in your mind. Keep saying it and thinking it. Keep saying, thinking, declaring, affirming, declaring, decreeing. Thank God. I am so grateful and thankful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities on a daily basis, on a continuous basis. Increasing quantities, daily basis. Money comes to me in increasing quantities on a daily basis. So I'm grateful. And so you make that declaration. The two most important times of the day is when you lie down at night and when you wake up in the morning. So it's so vitally important that you say the things, you think the thoughts when you go to bed at night. Let that be the last thing on your mind. I am so grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities from multiple sources on a continuous basis. And just say that until you just kind of doze off to sleep. And then when you rise in the morning, you rise up with that same declaration. I am so grateful. Woo, now that money comes to me in increasing quantities from multiple sources on a continuous basis. That's how you create cycles. Because once again, you're changing your perception from being broke, busted, and disgusted to being blessed in the city, in the field, And when you go, everything you touch, you prosper. So now you've got a prosperity mindset. That's why I say I'm a prosperity preacher. And it's not just about money, but it's a holistic approach to life itself. Now, again, I use the Bible as a guidepost because it's proven to be a powerful source of divine interaction. And in many cases, divine um, materialization, how that you can literally begin to quote the scriptures as it relates to your life. As you say it and you declare it, you'll start seeing it manifest in your life. So again, this takes discipline because sometimes life throws you curveballs and you tend to want to declare the curveballs rather than the promises. You want to talk about the problems more than the promises. And so what I'm suggesting and submitting to you right now is that you begin to learn to rehearse the promises. Just keep saying and keep believing, keep imagining. Oh, I am so grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities from multiple sources on a continuous basis. And I'm telling you, things are going to happen in your favor by divine interaction. God is going to supernaturally construct a set of circumstances that will bring you into that place that you desire to be. He'll do it. But the challenge is us, because again, we're too tempted to rehearse the problem as opposed to the promise. So again, you have to actively say it all day. You don't have to say it out of your mouth, but it's important that you say it out of your mouth, but say it in your mind every day, all day, because you're reconditioning your mind. You can almost say you're brainwashing yourself, because again, if you can see it in your mind, you can get it in your hand. I say it all the time. Your mentality affects your reality, and your mindset will affect your assets. So again, your mental disposition has everything to do. And the beautiful part about it is that this levels the playing field. It doesn't matter if you come from the rich or from the poor. It doesn't matter, because all you have to do is begin to learn this principle of beginning to, number one, transform your mind. There's a verse of scripture in the Bible. Of course, you know I'm going to give you a little Bible verse. In Romans 12 says, be not conformed to this world. What does that mean? Don't do what everybody else is doing just because everybody else is doing it, especially if it tended towards lack and poverty, bitterness, hatred, pain, suffering. Why? I mean, don't do that. Don't be conformed to that, but be transformed. How? By the renewing of your mind. So if you'll transform your mind, you can transform your life. It happens just that easy. And I'm telling you what I've experienced myself on a consistent, continual basis. I've gone through 4 major surgeries in the last 3 years. I'm talking about major, a quadruple bypass surgery on the heart. And in many cases, I should be out of here. And if that's not enough, then I have to deal with the cancer in the prostate cancer. Had 3 surgeries about that and finally had it removed. But at the end of the day, I could be just feeling sorry for myself because I spent a lot of money. Okay, my wife and I spent a lot of money on that. But nevertheless, I could be bitter about it, like I lost it and it'll never come back. Or I can say again, I am so grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantity from multiple sources on a continuous basis. Or here's one you can use. I call it the I am principle. And all you got to do is tag I am with what it is you desire to be. And for instance, I am healed. That's for me. I've gone through the surgery. I've recovered. I don't look like what I've been through. You know, I'm not 19 anymore, but I feel like it. And as such, that's how you get your life to turn the page. You're going to transform your life by simply saying, I am healed. I am blessed. Just fill in the blank. If you can't remember my soliloquy I picked up from Proctor, again, I'm now so grateful. I am so grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities from multiple sources on a continuous basis. Or you can use the simple version, I am, and tag it with not I am depressed, no, or I'm so frustrated, or I am so tired. None of that, because that's not what you want. You want the favor. You want the goodness. You want the blessed. Don't you want to be happy? Don't you want to be prosperous? Well, then you got to say it. In the words of Reverend Ike, you cannot lose with the stuff I use. This stuff works. I'm teaching and I've taught it to so many, and they're seeing it happen in their life. You come to my church, that's all you're going to hear. I'm helping to transform the lives and the mindset of our entire community. And there are those who are catching on. And then I had a couple, they literally got a house and got a check for buying the house. At the closing, they got thousands of dollars at the closing for buying the house. How many people get paid for buying a house? Not only did they get, well, they found the house. It was an incredible find because, again, we were talking about say what you want. Stop talking about how hard it is to find a house, or how I can't find the right house, or I can't find the one I'm looking for. You start saying, I found a beautiful home that is exactly what I've been looking for. You say that on a continuous basis, and pretty soon you're going to run into that house you've been looking for. And that's what happened to them. And then at closing, once they close on the house, boom, they get a check in addition to finding the house. Sounds like God to me. So again, you will learn how to, again, control your words. Speak only the words that you want to manifest in your life. There's a proverb that says, death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. In other words, you're literally going to eat your words. If you don't want to eat it, then don't say it. Okay? Now, if you want to eat it, or if you want to get it, say it. Say it, say it, say it, and continue to say it, and then you'll see God himself will supernaturally orchestrate. I don't know how he does it. And this is the beauty of it. I don't have to know. You don't have to know how he does it, because he does it supernaturally and sovereignly. I don't care how he does it. All I know, my part is watch what comes out of my mouth. You know why? Because it's not what goes in your mouth that defiles a man. It's what comes out of your mouth that defiles a man. You would think that what you put in your mouth, high calorie, high cholesterol, sodium glucoside and all the other chemicals, what you put that in your mouth, yes, it will have a negative effect on your body, but what will be more damaging is what comes out of your mouth. What has the potential to be any salt, any sulfate, any gluten, or any of that is what comes out of your mouth. Because again, they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. If you speak it, you're going to have to eat it. So again, speak it so much so till your emotions get involved and you rise to the level of confidence till you can almost taste it. It's like, oh, I can almost taste it. I'm so convinced it's going to happen. And you know what? Pretty soon you'll see it. Don't lose it. Stay right there. I can taste it. I can feel it. The new car, even if you got no money, no down payment, it's going to take you, again, willing to do the work. I'm not saying this is not magic, but you believe, I need a new car. Well, okay. Start saying, I am so grateful that I have a new car that is exactly the model and the condition I want it to be. Black, purple, green, whatever the color. Say it continually and say it as a form of thanksgiving. Not gimme, gimme, gimme. Thanksgiving. When you do that, I'm telling you, you're going to see things happening. And the beauty, again, is it levels the playing field. You don't have to have any special credentials. You don't have to be born to a special family. You don't have to belong to a special group, because this levels the playing. They're going to have to talk just the same way you're going to have to talk. They're going to have to speak in a way that brings prosperity in the same way that you're going to have to speak to bring that prosperity and wealth to your life. Okay? So I'm looking forward to hearing from you saying, I've tried this whole speaking, believing, declaring. I am imagining. That's the big one. I've tried it, and you know what? It works. It literally works. So try it. Okay? And you'll find that it actually works in your favor. And when it do, let me hear from you. Put it in the chat right here, or write me at Michael Norman Ministries at gmail.com. Write me and let me know how things are happening for you. Okay? All right. So then that's going to wrap it up for this edition of Maximum Life. I'm so glad to be back. If you didn't know, my birthday was just last week. And, you know, I've turned 61. I say 21. I say 21 for the 40th time. That's just how I feel about the whole situation. I just turned 21 for the 40th time. And as such, you know, we get to celebrate the whole month. So thank you for all of your well wishes and your cards and your donations, your giving. I think there's some information still on my Facebook page if you would like to donate to the cause, to the ministry. That would be an amazing blessing to the ministry so that we can do the work around the world. All right. That being said, I'm going to be back next week. I'm back. I am back. And I've got something. Matter of fact, I want you to save the date. June 23rd, 24th, and 25th. I've got some very powerful information for those of you who perhaps you know, again, let's just say this. Brick and mortar, starting a brick and mortar business is passé. It's antiquated. The new frontier is digital. As you can see, artificial intelligence and all of the digital information and insight, this is what's taken over. So you got to get in on the front end in order to make maximum increase. So we're going to do a 3-day challenge, June 23rd, 24th, 25th. I'll tell you more about that next week. Okay. Till next time, may the best be yours so that you might have life and that abundantly. Live maximum life. All right. We'll see you next time. Blessings.